What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah! And are you ready for the age of apocalypse? Yes, we're finally arrived at X-Men Alpha, the quote-unquote beginning. But is it really the beginning when this is part 7 of the Outlaws cut? As a man climbs over the piles of bodies, rotting out in the fields of dead men, women, and children, he climbs over it, trying not to let the stink get to his nostrils as he sees the dead amongst the dying. And there's nothing he can do to help, and he runs away in insanity. This man is a lost man in time as he comes across a woman screaming, crying, for she's being hunted. For only the strong survive in Apocalypse's new world, a world he's been ruling for a very long time. But what is 20 years to an immortal? And yet his watchdogs stand ready to slaughter her. Slaughter every human and every mutant that stands in their way as he prepares to fire a blast at the stranger, but he takes all the energy in. He absorbs it. And this is where this man's smile disappears and realizes that he too is a mutant. He's not a flat scan. He orders his men to kill him, to wipe him from the face of the earth, to throw his charred body amongst the other dead and dying. But then he is saved. Magneto's X-Men show up, ready for a fight, ready to save this mutant and bring him to their cause, ready for the war. Sabretooth lets Wildchild off the chain. This savage creature that Sabretooth carries around is vicious and ready for a kill. As Apocalypse men gather their courage and attack, Sabretooth is savage as ever, with his young ward, Blink, watching in the background. Rogue springs into action, a soldier about to kill her from behind, and Nightcrawler steps in, and Rogue deals with him quickly. Morph, using his shape-shifting ability, takes out a few of the guards, as well as Storm. But one of them gets the drop on Magneto, saying that he has plastic rounds. He'll destroy him, but yet he's feeling a wee bit cold as Iceman freezes him, shatters him. And Iceman points out that Magneto may have a bit of a death wish, and he knows that Pedro would have stopped it, or something else. Magneto has grown weary of this war over the years and decades, for he is not immortal, and time counts with him, and keeps on counting, as he looks over the field of the dead dying, knowing there's nothing he can do but keep fighting this war, this endless war against Apocalypse. But now they've captured this stranger, whose name is Bishop. He attacks Magneto immediately, screaming, "Murderer! You did it! All of it! It's your fault!" Magneto's stunned, but he knows about Legion, Xavier, the death. He was there, one of the last survivors from his reality. He saw it. Meanwhile, Dark Beast is experimenting on a man named Fred Dukes, aka the Blob. Of course, no pain, no gain is what Hank says until the creature breaks loose, ready to smash Hank into pieces. Havoc, of course, stops him. Beast is happy for this, but when Havoc's about to deliver the death blow, the creature attacks again, throwing Beast towards him, and is able to jump up in an instant. Due to Beast's modifications, Cyclops blasts him out of the air. For Cyclops, Hank, Havoc are all ruled and controlled by Mr. Sinister. For it is Mr. Sinister that raised these two, took McCoy under his wing, and they are a twisted, demented family. As Mr. Sinister comes out, pointing out the fact that the Summers brothers always fight and quarrel, he leaves Havoc to clean up the mess, and he talks with Scott, for Scott is his heir. And Mr. Sinister is sad. For all the generations that he's brought hell to earth, he may not live to enjoy it. For Apocalypse's design and Mr. Sinister's design are two very different things. Meanwhile, another part of Apocalypse's land, in a place called Heaven, the Sentinels fly over, but yet Angel is not afraid of these mutant hunters, for he has immunity, for he plays all sides. And now someone that Angel owes a favor to has come to cash in, Gambit. For bailing him out of Louisiana, he asks a favor. Meanwhile, Rogue is attending to a child, young Charles. For Magneto and Rogue have had a child, Magneto learning how to use his powers to touch Rogue by extending his biometric field. And now they have a child together, the only light and Magneto's darkness in this war. As Rogue feels distant from the war. As Bishop keeps talking, he angers Magneto and he takes a shot at him. It does nothing to Bishop since he can absorb the energy. But since they are short on psychics, since Jean leaving the team, they have to find another way to read his mind. Meanwhile, the Horsemen gather. Abyss, Apocalypse, Sinister, with one notably missing, and Apocalypse appears. For now it is time for the end game. Apocalypse has been planning this for a long, long time, and he will not be denied, as he makes plans to finally finish off the humans, to finally finish off all those that oppose him, all that betray him, and finally grasp the world in the embrace of Apocalypse and mold it to his fitting, where only the strong survive. But that might not be enough. Apocalypse may want to wipe the slate clean completely. And Sinister realizes this, that he may not survive this age of Apocalypse when their master is done with them. Meanwhile, the resistance in Europe. Two strangers in robes appear as someone jumps out yelling mutants, and a pair of claws pop out. They are with the resistance. Their names are Jean Grey and Weapon X, Logan. And they hand over the information to the resistance. They have been fighting on the resistance side since they left Magneto, trying to undermine Apocalypse any way they can. But they're still together. And Logan will never leave her, but yet there's someone in the shadows watching, spying. Magneto has decided to use Rogue to tap into Bishop's mind. And due to the field that he shares with Rogue, she sees a future somewhat dark but brighter than this one, different, where Magneto's the villain. And yet, it's brighter, more hopeful. And Charles Xavier had lived to fulfill his dream, to make his X-Men in his own image. Gambit pushes Rogue away, breaking contact with Bishop. As Magneto sees everything, Bishop tells him the truth, shows him the truth. As Sabretooth gets ready to gut the Cajun, Quicksilver tells him that Magneto had invited him here for a purpose. He tells Nightcrawler he must talk to his mother immediately, for the visions he's seen has changed his plans. Gambit threatens Magneto, saying that he shouldn't put Rogue in that kind of danger, but they are part of the team, and each team member takes their own risk, as she tells her to attend to their son. Gambit's shocked by this, and of course Sabretooth has to twist the knife a little, asking him if he was invited to the baby shower or not. And Apocalypse continues his visions, his machinations of war, and he knows those close to him that might betray him, and he is ready. Meanwhile, Magneto hatches his own plans, his own resistance. It's going to take everyone from past and present to follow through with his plan. And yet he must do it to find a brighter future. As out in the universe things begin to crystal and rot away. The Mkron crystal is loose. And who will stop this madness? Can they end this war? We'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.